So tell me how you feel about graduation.
I don't know.
Are you excited to graduate? How do you feel about graduating?
I'm really excited. I've been waiting for this like my whole life. I think this is like the biggest accomplishment I feel like I could ever achieve.
The Academy is basically an umbrella filled with multiple programs that can meet multiple needs for all types of students. But the Academy in general is our high school component, grades 9 through 12, which we focus on keeping kids in school by providing an alternative to a traditional setting, and that is the block schedule. I think is huge, allowing students to be able to catch up on credits, improve GPAs, and either graduate early or on time when, if they stayed at their traditional setting, would have not been able to do so just because of lack of time. And also, I think our relationships with our students is very valuable. I think our students respond to our teaching styles and to the love that we provide for them on an individual level.
What does the Academy mean to me? The Academy means family. This place is more than a school. I love this place. I've made so many friends here, and it's crazy. I'm gonna miss the heck out of it.
Academy kids, I would say case by case. Typically our students, though, if I could generally speak about them, would be that these students maybe sometimes lack motivation, or they have had a frustrated start to their high school career, and you know, that could be with their behavior, it could be with their attendance. They just have gotten so far behind. So a typical student is a student that walks through the door that is still motivated to finish high school, that is looking for an alternative to help them catch up, and believe that the Academy is a place where they can be successful. So a typical student, again, would be someone who is just really looking for a second chance, someone to get a fresh start.
See, the Academy make dreams happen, man. See, before I was at PC, man, I wasn't sure if I was going to graduate. I came here, now I can graduate right now if I want to. So, like, it makes dreams happen, man.
we hear constantly is that this is a place for all the bad kids, that all the bad kids of the district can go. And that's quickly not the answer. That's not exactly at all correct. This is a school of choice. And I really should start off by saying that the most important aspect of this school is it being a school of choice. When a student decides that they would like to be interviewed at the academy, they meet with the principal, in this case myself at this time, where they're able to discuss academics, their behavior, the attendance. It is at that call where I have to make a decision if this student will be successful at the academy. So when it comes to that, is we're able to take students in the traditional setting, bring them onto the academy campus. These students would have most likely not stayed in school or graduated, which would have hurt the school grade, which inevitably would have hurt the district grade. So with that being said, when we catch kids up academically and they graduate on time, it actually supports the school and the district grade, let alone they graduate from high school. So with that being said, just in 1 year alone, we've helped the district graduate 2% more overall. Our neighboring Port Charlotte High School jumped 4% in graduation rate. So we feel like the academy itself improved 2% just last year and will continue to do so as we look at how we graduate kids. So I think overall we support the district as a resource of keeping kids in school.
Like, there's so many people that made this school great and that made me feel great and accept. Jack Ham. Jack Ham, my gosh, where do I begin with you?
The parents are very kind of weary about if this place is for bad kids. What we find is that kids that come in with behavioral issues are frustrated. A lot of times we talk about fight or flight. Kids' behaviors at their traditional schools tend to result in maybe their difficulty in learning, the lack of relationship that they have with staff, maybe just a rough start to their own life or their home life could be a contributing factor. So when kids get here, I feel like we treat them as an individual and we give them the TLC that allows them to be themselves. And they learn at their own pace. Our teachers provide support with that block schedule. They're able to modify and differentiate their instruction. So when it comes to kids coming to us who possibly could have had behavioral issues or attendance issues, we tend to see the behaviors go down and attendance go up because they like being at school. So I feel like we just do a good job of giving these kids a different learning environment that is conducive to their learning style. Therefore, their attitude towards learning is improved, and therefore they are successful.
This academy is a gem in Charlotte County. These kids have thrived in this learning environment because you know why? Teachers care, staff cares. Our goal is to get you to graduation.
We have also supported students in the middle school ranks through our PASS program, and those are students who are behind and overaged in the middle school. And on a typical year, we are helping over 60 students complete their middle school requirements and then move on to high school, and sometimes even finishing freshman year in the same year. So our PASS program has really taken off and done really well. Our Career Quest program, which now we're sponsored by the Simon Youth Foundation in both our Career Quest program in the mall and at the Academy on Cochran Boulevard. That relationship has allowed students in our Career Quest program especially to have a flexible schedule. So those students who are working, who need just a few more credits, that if they had to go to school full-time would probably drop out. So we're able to accommodate their schedules and allow them to finish. Also, we take care of our teen parents. Teen moms and dads are able to provide daycare services for them and then walk over and finish their high school education. So keeping them in school as well is important. So I think our C program as well, which is a students where they are placed, we're watching them transition out of that program into other academy programs and doing very well. So this transitional piece of our programs that are interchanging students, they're crossing over them to different programs. I feel like our staff has done a great job of making it conducive to all learners and all programs across the board. So for an alternative school, I feel like the Academy in Charlotte County has really taken a life of its own to be a great resource to not only the students but to the district.
My favorite thing about the school is that everyone has a chance.
I mainly recommend this school to tons of people. I've even told my friends at the high school that they should come here.
The takeaway when we get to talk about our programs at the Academy is, to be honest, would be that we get to do what we got in the business to do, and that's help kids. In a traditional world, I respect it because I came from the traditional setting. You're teaching 6 out of 7 periods. You've got 45 minutes to get the standards in. You've got 150 students coming in and out of your room. You want to give them more, but you just don't have time. You're running around. You've got all these different activities going on, and it's good for most kids. It's great. That's good stuff. But the kids that really need that TLC, they really need that relationship, that's what we do. We take those kids that just sometimes need the extra. And when we got into education, I think I speak for our teachers, is that we want to help kids and we want to see them grow. And when our teachers get to see their students graduate and walk across the stage, and sometimes it's been a heavy investment of energy and of emotions, but to see them be successful and graduate from high school as a result of their hard work is just something extra special. So I just feel like the alternative setting that we provide for our students gives that a real genuine approach to education that we got into this for. So nothing against that traditional setting, but because of our model, we're able to do what we got in the game to do, and that's help kids do what's best for kids.
You're excited about graduating?
Yeah, I'm excited about graduating.
Okay. And do you have any plans after high school?
I'm working my way through college.
And how was your time at the Academy?
It was great.
How do you feel about graduation?
I'm really excited. You know, it's been a long time coming, but I'm really glad I made it there.
And what are your plans after high school?
I leave for boot camp for the Marine Corps in January.
And how do you feel about being here at the Academy?
It's great. It's so much better than the last high school I was at. You know, you got so much more time to work with the teachers, and there's so much more time, you know, and there's so much more willing to work with you. It's great.
All right. And is there anybody you'd like to thank or anything else you'd like to say?
I'd like to thank all my teachers that I've had and haven't had, because there's so many, like, literally everyone gets to know each other here at the Academy because it's such a small school. I'd like to thank all the administration and everyone just for helping me through this process.
All righty. How do you feel about graduating?
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have any plans after high school?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Into the land of the living, black bleeds orange into blue. I am coming to life. Light is breaking through. can hear the bells in the city. Across the ancient shore, I am ready to fight. Let down the scarlet cord.
How do you feel about graduating?
I feel a little nervous, but excited at the same time.
And do you have any plans after high school?
Yeah, I'm going to go to CTC for early childhood education, see where it goes from there.
Okay. And how do you feel about your time at the academy?
It was pretty short, but I enjoyed every second of it. All the teachers are so nice, and the students are pretty nice too.
And is there anybody else you'd like to thank or anything else you want to say?
I'd like to thank Miss L, Miss Meyer, Miss Blanchett, all the teachers I had this year. It was a good year.
On the threshing floor. Between the walls and the river, shoulders bear the sacred stones. We made it alive. We're not alone. Kiss the ground and change your name. No, you cannot love in moderation. You're dancing with the dead man's bones. Lay your soul on the threshing floor. I heard the distant battle drum, mockingbirds spoke in tongues, longing for the day to come. I set my face, forsook my fears. I saw the city through my tears. The darkness will soon disappear, be swallowed by the sun. I am coming home. I am coming home. I am coming home. I am coming
So tell me how you feel about graduation.
I'm kind of nervous, but I'm happy because I'm finished.
Do you have any plans after high school?
I'm gonna work full time until the fall, and then I'm gonna go to school and be a nurse.
And how do you feel about being at the academy?
I mean, I'm happy I was here because if not, I probably wouldn't have graduated. And it's a super lovely place. So.
So how do you feel about graduating?
I'm very excited.
And do you have any plans after high school?
I'm probably going to college.
Okay. And how do you feel about your time here at the Academy?
It was short, but it was fun.
So how do you feel about graduation?
I feel like it hasn't come soon enough. I know I only have like 3 days left till I leave this school, but I realize that that's going to be the longest 3 days of my life.
Do you have any plans after graduation?
Probably like a tech school or college for culinary.
Good deal. Do you like being at the Academy?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Everyone here is amazing.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations. Obviously, what you've accomplished is something that your goal was when you first walked in our doors to ask to come to the academy, is so that we can help you move across the line and graduate with a high school diploma. So congratulations, job well done, way to persevere and stick with your education. A message that I commonly have for all the graduates is make sure that you have the next end in mind, and that is you're moving forward with some type of plan. Sometimes those plans take a little longer to develop than others, but that's okay as long as you have a plan. What will you do to be successful in the next part of your life, which is the majority part of your life? What are you going to do for work, a career? So hopefully we were able to expose you through our great classroom experiences, information about military, information about college, information about the trade school, information just about the workforce. What does a resume look like? What does an interview going into one look like and feel like? What is basically a credit score, or how to apply for loans? Those real life things that I know our teachers did a great job of educating you on and introducing you to. We'll be able to take that with you and be successful. So I just want to wish you all, I would say that your class was definitely a delight, but yet a challenge to motivate at times. But you guys were funny. You were full of character. We had some great leaders. We had some great kids who we feel are just going to do great things. So for that being said, I just wish you all your personal best, and we are always here for you at the Academy. Best wishes.
The commencement ceremony for the Academy class of 2017 will begin momentarily. We ask that you silence and store your cell phones at this time. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the fall class of 2017. If you would please rise for the processional of the Academy faculty and the graduates of the fall class of 2017. And now, please stand as graduate Alex Sharp leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, and please be seated. Good evening. I'm Academy teacher and senior class sponsor Matthew Baker, and I'd like to welcome you all to the commencement ceremony for the Academy Fall Class of 2017. This gathering is always a favorite time for the faculty and the staff of the school, and we're honored to share it with you this evening as the semester and year draw to a close. And what a year it's been. It's been a doozy, a real humdinger, as they call it back on the farm. Who they are and what farm they're from, I'm not exactly sure, but you get the idea. It seems like the headlines are all about people behaving badly, and call me crazy, but a steady eye of that stuff will get you thinking that things aren't going so great. I've got a member of my family, to give you some inside intel here, who I love dearly, but they're kind of getting on in years a little bit, and they've retreated into this, boy, things sure are going to HE double hockey sticks in a hurry these days, kind of a mindset. He says, but I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure you see that every day. What with these kids with their iPod thingies and their gangsta rappers flossing their grip of cheddar and their janky hoopties. I'm kidding, he doesn't say that iPod part. But I think about it for a minute, and then I think of my students here at this school of second chances. And I gently remind them that the people have complained about the young since the dawn of time, and that based on what I've seen, we're going to be just fine. And tonight you'll hear stories that back this up. Stories told by students about the kindness of strangers, peers, and total strangers. And it's this optimism that reminds me of something a teacher friend of mine says whenever she's had enough of the grim headlines. 2016 was the caterpillar, 2017 was the cocoon, and 2018 is going to be a beautiful butterfly. It's a fitting analogy for the students before you tonight who are heading out on their own for the first time, ready to try out their new wings. We've got a packed house tonight, including a few special guests from your Charlotte County school system. And for their introductions, I'll turn the mic over to the curator of our unique kind of butterfly garden, Mr. Jack Ham.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon, our evening parents, family, and friends, and thank you again for joining us for the Academy's 2017 Fall Commencement Ceremony. Today, as always, is an exciting day for us to recognize and honor our graduates, and we're so very proud of your accomplishment of graduating from high school. Today, we graduate 50 students from the Academy, and I'm proud to say that of those 50, 25 are actually graduating early from high school. What an amazing accomplishment, so good job. So before we start tonight's ceremony, I would like to welcome members of our school board and district leadership team who always show their appreciation and support for the Academy. So please join me in welcoming school board members, Mrs. Kim Amantri, Mrs. Wendy Atkinson, and Mr. Robert Seeger. Thank you, guys. I would also like to welcome members of our district leadership team, and that is Assistant Superintendent of District Support, Mr. Jerry Olivo, the Executive Director of Student Services, Dr. Mike Desjardins, and the Executive Director of Learning, Mrs. Cheryl Edwards. We also have the Manager of Adult Education and Community Liaison, Mr. Mike Riley, in attendance. And I know she'll be showing up shortly because she went to the wrong place, but the Director of Student Intervention and Dropout Prevention, Mrs. Chantal Phillips, will be running in here shortly. And last but not least, of course, is our Superintendent, Mr. Steve Dionisio. So thank you for coming. And finally, I also would like to thank the President and CEO of the Simon Youth Foundation, Dr. Michael Durno, for making the trip from Indianapolis, Indiana to celebrate our graduates. Thank you, Dr. Durno. So So back to Mr. Baker to hear from our students.
Next, we're going to hear a few words from the graduates themselves, and that'll help give an idea of some of the paths which bring the students to the Academy, and what exactly our graduates have done to change the direction of those paths. I have to confess that I'm not really familiar with our first speaker, but after talking with him in preparation for tonight and hearing the earnestness of his remarks, and also, and this is a key point, the passion of the staff whenever his name is mentioned, I thought, okay, he's got to be a good one. I find myself wishing that I had the time to get to know him better. Please welcome Mr. Alex Sharp.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Sharp. Now, before I tell everyone here all the great things that we do here at the Academy and all the great things the Academy has done for me, I'd just like to tell everyone how I got to the Academy and the reasons why I came to the Academy. I moved here to Florida about 3.5 years ago with my family. Started off high school at Lemon Bay. I was doing all right. I was getting, D's and C's. Not great, but I was doing okay. Sophomore year, I started taking the Charlotte Technical course of automotive. So I rode the bus home with a lot of Academy students that I became good friends with and still am good friends with today. By the time my junior year came, I've been failing my math classes for about a year and a half. So halfway through that year, about a month before winter break, I went and talked to my guidance counselor, and I asked her about the Academy. So she'd set up a meeting for me and my father to meet with Mr. Ham. And the amount of amazing things that I've learned from the Academy just in that day, I was just like, where do I sign? When Mr. Ham told me, we have twice the class periods. Classes are an hour and 25 minutes, not just 45 minutes. Classes are half the size, and you have so much more time with the teachers to be able to work one-on-one and make sure that you understand what it is that you're being taught, which I think is amazing. Some of the other great things we have at the Academy is that it's a much smaller school in the sense that we only have about 200 students, to whereas by the time I would get to my first hour, I'd already have about 15 or 20 students say, hello, how are you doing? And not only that, but we have so much fewer teachers here than we do at a lot of larger high schools that I've only had about 5 or 6 teachers here at the Academy, but I know every single teacher here, and I'm comfortable going up and talking and having a conversation with every one of them. So what I really need to say is thank you to all of the teachers here at the Academy for helping me. I need to say thank you to Ms. Anderson, our guidance counselor, Mr. Guzzo, and Mr. Ham. Can we give all of them a round of applause, please? But the two people I have to thank most are my mom and dad, who are here in the audience, for always believing me and pushing me to be the best that I can possibly be in all aspects of my life. Still remember doing elementary school homework at the kitchen table with my mom, and now I'm graduating high school. Man, does time fly. And I honestly can say that I could not have asked for better parents or a more loving family. So I'd like to say thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, everyone.
It's rare for a teacher to have a student in class with as much potential as our next speaker. The sky's truly the limit because he's willing to face his fears. It was only after agreeing to do the speech that he let me know that he has a nearly paralyzing fear of public speaking. I got a text message, a near panicked one. Thinking of doing this is a little like looking at a mountain, he said. Well, this student's willingness to face his fears and deal with them is an inspiration, and I don't say that lightly. And if this is his greatest mountain-like fear, all I have to say is look out, Everest, because Michael Coffey's coming for you.
Good evening, Mr. Dionisio, school board members, academy faculty and staff, and all my friends and family. My name is Michael Coffey. I'm terrified of public speaking, so when I was asked to do a speech today, I was pretty nervous to say the least. Among many things, this is something the Academy has helped me with during my few short years here. Had I gone to some other high school, I probably would have flown under the radar and been asked, or never been asked, never left my comfort zone, and never experienced any sort of personal growth. I started off my school career in the Omega program in elementary school, a sort of advanced placement program for nap time and booger picking. Jokes aside, a great deal of my foundational education was received there, and I was able to read in an advanced level by 4th grade. We were a sheltered little band of friendly kids, kind to each other and invested in learning. The middle school rolled around, however, we were forced into a place with a distinct pecking order, and I was bullied nonstop for 3 very, very long years. In that time, I became cynical, I became angry, and I became depressed. My grades plummeted, and I passed middle school by the skin of my teeth. Toward the end of that experience, a teacher there recommended a be-all, end-all school, and she promised it would help me finish faster and be done with the obligation of my required schooling, something I've wanted since that difficult time. She pointed me in the direction of FSW Collegiate High School. I applied for the raffle to enter and was accepted, and I began the spring after 8th grade. Once there, I was met with apparently kind teachers and did well in my classes. I knew a few of the students there already, so fitting in wasn't too terribly hard, and I eventually began to open up again. But over time, I began to see the same problems I had in middle school. Weird little cliques among the student body, assigning less than engaging material by some of the teachers, and what I sometimes felt was a thin veneer of caring over the shady practices of favoritism and contempt for those who had contrasting opinions on some of the part of the staff. Then in 2014, my home life underwent a huge foundational change for the worst. When I inevitably fell behind at school, the teachers didn't try to find out why. It was actually the opposite. It felt almost as if there was a mad rush to get me out the door. I don't know the reason for this. Perhaps charter schools rather jettison troubled students rather than jeopardize a good grade for a funding concern. I felt cut off. I couldn't be helped. And in addition to this, my friends there began to talk, not always behind my back, saying things like he's being too sensitive about his family, or that I should get over what happened. But it was a big deal. It was a very big deal. It felt like someone had torn a rug out from beneath my feet. And I realized how transient and unimportant that stage of my life really was. That nobody I'd meet would be worth investing time and energy into again. And that ultimately the world only opens its arms to those who keep their heads down and never struggle. But the Academy, for me, really proved that assumption wrong. Speaking of the assumptions the Academy proves wrong, there's a horrible, incorrect, and frankly stupid assumption that many people make for the Academy, and that is that it's where all the bad kids go to finish high school. As I learned, this couldn't be further from the truth. Every single student in attendance there wants to finish school and nothing more. The Academy is a place for those who have stumbled in their lives as I had. But I fell into that same trap too. I probably wouldn't even have considered it if it weren't for Mr. Ham. I met with him to discuss getting a GED at 15 and working until I was ready for college. But in that meeting, I was persuaded to give the Academy a shot. I hesitantly signed the admission form. That fall, I began one of the most developmentally beneficial years of my life. I came to school with a lot of pent-up anger at a ton of different sources. I had no friends, no intention of making friends, and just wanted to be finished as soon as I could. Early on, I questioned my choice, but soon I discovered that the reason students are encouraged to come to the Academy is that the staff really does care. And the fact that they do care really does instill a sense of camaraderie in the students. Ms. Lakachkova was the first teacher of many to really make me laugh and engage in class, and just about every teacher since has followed suit. The first student that really got me to talk was Edward Sibrowski. I remember the first time we talked on the bus on the way home. I was trying to sleep, there was a lot of noise, and this fellow student, this stranger, told me the other students to quiet down because he thought I was asleep. So much for a school of bad kids. That was the first step toward having the first real group of friends I'd ever had. He introduced me to all my other friends at the Academy over time, and with those people I learned to open up and get over the misconceptions I had about friends never sticking around. I started to shed that habit of keeping to myself. I had conversations with teachers, some of whom I consider to be more friends than they are teachers. I'd like to thank Mr. Bernicki, who helped me see things from perspectives that I might not ordinarily see. Ms. Lakachkova and Ms. Meyer, who both helped me to grasp my least favorite subject, math. Mrs. Meyer, who improved my sense of business and helped me to understand the way businesses and finance work on a deeper level. Ms. Richards and Mrs. Greenwood, who taught me the fundamentals of genetics and environmental science, two fields that will undoubtedly shape the development of humanity. Mr. Ashley, who reinforced what I already suspected about U.S. history and with whom I shared many funny and interesting anecdotes. And Mr. Baker, who in my short time I've known him, has been able to get me to volunteers for things I might not ordinarily do, to put myself out there socially, and even to write the speech I delivered today. And finally, I'd like to thank my friends, Edward Sabrowski, Matt Lane, Cole Ward, Samantha Savage, Tyler Mateo, and every student who showed me even the slightest hint of kindness and compassion, which is a list far too long to write. With the help of these people, I was able to graduate a half a year early and tackle some extremely stressful family issues this year, and to forgive everything that was done to me and my family. It's been quite a time of change for me, but I'll admit that I'm proud of my progress, and a lot of that progress can be chalked up to this so-called school of last chances. Thank you all, and the best of luck to my fellow graduates. May you always remember what brought you to the halls of the Academy, and may you find as much comfort in the knowledge, the answers, and the strength you found here as I am. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2017.
What mountain? As you've heard, the Academy can be a place of some pretty big personalities, and our final speaker tonight fits that bill. When Kira comes in the room, you immediately know what the weather is like, what kind of day she's had. Pretty much anything she feels like describing. But you also know you're in for a smile because somewhere in her monologue, she's probably going to make herself and you and everyone around you break up laughing. It turns out that our own math teacher, Jennifer Blanchette, is a psychic. I'm talking Miss Cleo style. I just dated myself. When I was listing students for the upcoming semester who I didn't know, she said, "You're going to love having Kara in class." Right again, Jen. Please welcome Miss Kara Cronin. I might have to lower the camera.
Welcome, everyone. I'm already nervous as it is, so give me a break. Just kind of sweating. Tonight I'm going to share a few things with you about my experience in school now that it's coming to an end. Now, originally, if some of you may know, I started at a different high school my freshman year. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because I found myself leaving school once, twice, well, more often than that. Most of the time I was suspended more than I was ever in a classroom, and I always felt like nobody wanted to help me succeed or reach any of my goals. So I just thought, the heck with school, right? And I pretty much made it one of the least important things in my life. Near the end of freshman year, I was forced into homeschooling, and then went on to start in the C program in the following fall. For those of you that don't know, that stands for Suspension Expulsion Alternative. If I went to school regularly, behaved myself well, and managed decent grades, I was given a choice. I had either the opportunity to go back to my homeschool, or I could elect to give the Academy a try. I thought over carefully, weighing the pros and cons of each choice. After going over it in my mind for what seemed like the 100th time, I determined that I should try the Academy. As I thought more about it, the choice seemed more and more like a no-brainer. After all, the Academy was much smaller. Teachers could take extra time to work with me, and I could theoretically make up material from where I had fallen behind. When I had started, it was a big adjustment. I came from having no privileges or freedom at all to a lot of it. Even those things, I was still unsure if it would make me more comfortable. Could it really help me get through high school? Well, let me tell you, my very first schedule was Miss Ivankovic, Mr. Ashley, Miss Sace, which was a teacher from the C program, and a teacher I've nicknamed Dad. It took me a bit to get used to him, but boy am I thankful for all that he has taught me. Miss I was probably so tired of me, considering I sat right beside her desk, and I'm not exactly a quiet person. Our fourth period was informative, entertaining, and wonderfully chaotic. Nothing will ever be able to replace the memories you made, and I appreciate her as a whole. Mr. Ashley and I didn't always exactly see eye to eye at first, but he always came around to my way of thinking. I don't think I will ever forget anything between 1865 and now because of him. Because, man, with my first Academy semester and almost a year and a half behind me, it started to feel like I would finish high school after all. I was more confident in what I was learning, and I knew that if I couldn't understand it on my own, I could at least get an answer if I worked hard at it enough. I question everything if I don't see the answer right away, so I'm sure you could guess how many questions there were. That's the polite way of saying disagreements, just so you know. But I got lucky. All of the teachers I've had made an effort to help me in any way they could. Even Baker, who uses progress report grades like a C as a weapon, and who thinks cheesecake is the world's greatest motivational tool. By the way, he owes me like a couple pieces. This past year and a half, they changed my life. I am standing on a stage with a few scholarships awarded to my name, many college applications finished at the age of 16. I have come a long way from where I started. It wasn't just school I had issues with, though. I have had many obstacles come up in my life that didn't always make things easy. Many kids that come to the academy have a hard life aside from school. So if they haven't heard it enough yet today, classmates, I am proud of you. Not that my opinion might matter all that much, but I know occasionally it's just nice to hear. Sometimes it's hard to wake up and go through a school day knowing you have so much more going on, working late night shifts just to get money that you don't really see anyway because it goes away as soon as you get it. Waking up the next morning on a few hours of sleep and having testing that you are required to pass. Not having a great support system. Maybe you've had to stay up late nights with your baby or go to a never-ending string of appointments, doctor visits, and obligations that steal your time, money, and sanity. But today, you get to just breathe. Relax. For today, at least, you've made it. We began high school as children, and we are leaving here as adults. Well, most of us. All of the years gone by, and we have completed a basic education. Some of us will leave here tonight and will go on to college. Others of us will go straight into the workforce. Still others will enlist into Army forces and serve this country. But for all those different future paths, we united as one. And, oh, I lost my voice. This one last final moment we can share this time right here, right now. No matter where we go or what we do, there will be challenges ahead of us. All I ask of you is to try and excel in everything you do. Remember what you have learned, and remember to trust your intuition. As much as I have looked forward to this day, I have never been too fond of endings. But endings are inevitable. Leaves fall, books close, and when it's all said and done, there comes a time when you have to say goodbye. In a way today, we say goodbye to everything we have come to know, everything that's been comfortable or familiar. In about 40 minutes, I just said 44. In about 40 minutes, it'll all be gone, just a memory. But even though we are all moving on, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. There will always be people we can visit, and our memories of what went on between the Academy's walls are going to be a part of us forever. These memories are building blocks of the path we are about to walk, and will continue to be as we keep moving forward. And for these memories, we should all be thankful. I know I am. Congratulations to the fall class of 2017. Thank you all, and good night.
We're going to pause for some station identification in the form of what has become an annual tradition for the proceedings. Our newish journalism and mass media program has been growing a little bit each semester, and the students battle some lightly used equipment and a touch of carpal tunnel syndrome to edit together some video to give you the idea of what it means to be a Wolfpack member and to watch these students continue to keep moving forward. Here is a look at the academic year in pictures and song. $5 wireless mouse, it's amazing.
How do you feel about graduation?
I'm really excited. You know, it's been a long time coming, but I'm really glad I made it there.
And what are your plans after high school?
I leave for boot camp for the Marine Corps in January.
I feel a little nervous, but I'm excited at the same time.
I'm really excited. I've been waiting for this like my whole life. I think this is like the biggest accomplishment I feel like I could ever achieve.
How do you feel about graduating?
I'm excited.
It's been a lot of work.
Do you like being at the Academy?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
So, how do you feel about graduation?
I'm nervous.
I'm gonna start off with a shout out to my family. My family was a big help in that. Also, I want to give a special thanks to Bernicki, Miss Blanchett, Mr. Ham, Mr. Guzzo, all the staff in the Academy. Also, Miss Brooks over in the C program. There was just a lot of people that inspired me.
This is a message and a calling. So get up and gather around everyone. I've been withering and dying, trembling from trying, barely crawling. What can I do? What will I do? Nobody told me. Nobody told me. Nobody told me how heavy this life was gonna be.
So, tell me how you feel about graduation.
Stands a silver line.
Are you excited to graduate?
Not believing a rosy I dream awakening into a moment when hands are not given to the meeting. What will become of the
I want to wish all the graduates the best of luck and thank them for choosing to come to the Academy.
Nobody told me. Nobody told me. Nobody told me how heavy this life was gonna be. Nobody told me. Nobody told me. No. Nobody told me how heavy this life was gonna be. If I could just hold on until the morning dawn, and nothing remains but a better day. And my song will sing up the way downtown.
Hold on. So make some noise for My favorite thing about the school is that everyone has a chance, and they're not just thrown out there with nothing, not prepared or anything like that. Everyone's different in their own way, and it's, I don't know, it brings a light to the academy.
Every day it is. Every day is getting heavier. But I keep pushing on. This is a message and a calling.
Shout out to Kayla, Desiree, my nephew Caden, and everybody else here that I love, because that's a lot of names.
Graduation day, I've been through a lot of them. Been working here for 19 years, so that's a lot of graduations. I would say it's the happiest and saddest day all in one. It's happy for the kids having accomplished a goal they never thought they could do, and I'm so very proud of them. But I also am very sad. I usually tear up a little because I'm going to miss them very much. I really love my students, and seeing them graduate, I know they're on to their next phase of life, and it's just exciting.
This is for you, Mrs. Richards. Just wanted to say thank you for all that you've done for the Academy and for our students and the staff. We wish you well on your new adventure. It's just been an honor to be a colleague of yours and to grow with you and to just see you grow with your own family. Personally, I just want to wish you all the best as a friend and as a colleague. You will be missed. All the best to you. Good luck.
Goodbye, Ms. Richards. You made a great impact on our school, and I know you're going to make an even better impact on Community Christian. I'm really excited for your future.
Danielle, congratulations. You know we'll miss you, but I am so happy that you've been so blessed to really pursue the job where you really want to be, and that you'll make the most effect on these kids. Stay in touch.
We had a day a couple of years ago that was a really tough one, and had to deal with some pretty tragic circumstances, and the staff, we all stood in a room and were just kind of stunned when we took it in, and nobody knew what to do or say. And I felt this hand come around over my shoulder and kind of grab me in this hug, and I looked over, and it was Danielle Richards. So yeah, little moments like that, we're gonna miss you. You're gonna go on to do great things, and we'll get by without you, but we'll be a little bit of a smaller place for it.
And how do you feel about being here at the Academy?
I love it.
And how do you feel about being at the Academy?
Probably the best thing that's happened.
Do you have anything else to say?
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm joining the military, so after the military, everything
Joining the Air Force, having a nice, financially
I want
stable.
everyone to achieve what their dreams are made of. I want
Little house, little car.
everyone to be financially stable, happy where they are and where they're going, and get what they want and need.
Have a simple life.
We got this. We'll just keep on doing what we gotta do and keep moving forward.
So the work of a broadcast journalist is never done, it seems. That video, and then the longer one that played as you took your seats before 5 this afternoon, and the video of tonight's entire ceremony will be edited together into a single package, and we're going to post that to the school website, so you'll be able to get to that in the next couple of weeks. Now it's time we continue one of our favorite traditions. We're going to meet some standout students and recognize their contributions to the school. We'll hear the principal's parting words to the graduates, and then we'll get these patient young men and women a diploma. Ladies and gentlemen, Academy Principal Jack Ham.
All right, before we get to the diplomas, there's a few awards and recognitions I'd like to present tonight. At this time, the first award is the Tom Hannon Award, so if I could ask Mr. Tom Hannon to join me on stage and assist me in recognizing the student who's honored. Annually, the Academy holds 4 fundraisers. Mr. Hannon graciously donates his time and energy to find business sponsors and prizes to help support our fundraisers. Without the efforts of Mr. Hannon, the Academy would not be able to fund many of our functions and student needs. Over the past 5 years, with the help of the Academy's fundraising committee and Mr. Hannon, we have raised over $35,000 for our kids. With this money, we're able to provide free proms, pay for various student fees, provide scholarships, field trips, student activities, and meet other needs that support student success. In honor of Mr. Hannon, we have created an award in his name. The recipient receives a plaque and a check for $100. The recipient of this award goes to an individual who has volunteered their time and energy to support the staff and student activities at the Academy. The student never asks for anything in return and enjoys the time they put in making the Academy a great atmosphere. This year's Tom Hannon Award winner goes to Corey Alcorn. Congratulations, Corey, and thank you again, Mr. Hannon, for all your efforts. The next award is the Spirit of the Wolf Award. Wolves, out of all animals, have one of the most strongest symbolisms. When researching the symbolism of a wolf, you will find that our culture has put both a positive and negative spin on the spirit of this animal. Wolves have sharp intelligence and an appetite for freedom, but on the other hand can be perceived as a threat and cannot be trusted. The key word there is they are perceived. When I reflect on the symbolism of a wolf, it actually reminds me of how our Academy students are often perceived. All of our kids have great qualities, but they are mostly recognized as bad or troubled kids. In all actuality, our kids are very intelligent and have a desire to succeed in life. And this is why we have over 50 graduates tonight. So tonight's recipient of the Spirit of the Wolf Award goes to an individual who I've known for too long already. To be honest, the student was not always the most studious or had punctual attendance. And as a matter of fact, she is finally graduating after being removed and accepted back several times. Of course, the easiest emotion to feel towards her was anger and frustration for her lack of commitment and progress towards her diploma. She always had almost every teacher in our program and left each one of them with many stories and memories. So why did I keep taking her back? Why not just give up and let her fade away? And trust me, many times I wanted to. But honestly, I couldn't because she just never stopped showing up in my office begging me for for a chance to come back. But if you heard her story and the trials and tribulations that she has been through, you would take her back too. Her story is very deep and personal, and it's not my place to share what she has experienced in her young life. Nevertheless, she always told me she would graduate, and tonight she is. Tonight, this young lady is receiving the award for its true meaning. She has the spirit of the wolf. I'm very proud to give this Spirit Award to Ms. Cheyenne Newman. Been in the Academy for over 5 years, and you will never be forgotten. That is for sure. The last award that I'd like to recognize is our famous Angel Award. The Angel Award is given to an individual or individuals who have been a blessing to the Academy. The recipient of this award understands the Academy's purpose and our approach to education. They support the Academy in multiple ways, but most importantly, they believe in not giving up on kids. This year's Angel Award goes to someone who has deep connections to the Academy and all of its programs. Furthermore, they have made an impact throughout Charlotte County Public Schools for many years. She has been an advocate for all students with a dedicated passion for students who are at risk of not staying in school and graduating. The Academy was reinvented in 1999 and given a restart after the closing of New Challenge. This individual was a major player in developing and seeing the Academy open its doors for students needing a second chance. Not everyone has a passion and heart to help students who don't always fit the traditional model. Our recipient has advocated for students for over 25 years in Charlotte County. She has developed multiple programs that support teen parents, homeless students, struggling middle school students, and students who have dropped out of high school. She has sat on numerous boards and community agencies to get their support for all of our students. She is a person who always sees the best in all kids and will see no end to providing interventions to see all kids succeed. I have been honored to work beside her over the past 5 years. She has taught me so much about alternative education and about the hard work and dedication that goes along with it. Graduates, please understand that if it were not for this wonderful lady, you may not be graduating today. So without further ado, I would like to recognize the 2017 Angel Award to Ms. Chantal Phillips. I'm gonna tell on you. She texted me, went to the wrong place for graduation. And she said, I'm so far away, there's no way I can make it. Of course, it's a surprise that she's gonna win this award. So I said, today you can't miss. So thank you, Ms. Morazes, who brought her here and got her here. So thank you. Before my final remarks, I'd like to bring up Dr. Durno, who I mentioned earlier, who's the president and CEO of the Simon Youth Foundation. It's always an honor to bring him on stage to help him share the story of the mission behind the Simon Youth Foundation. You'll soon hear about the foundation and what a huge advocate it is for alternative education, and we're just honored for the support that he has given to both Career Quest and the Academy on Cochrane. So Dr. Durno, please share your words.
Thank you, Mr. Ham. This is a horrible place to put me in the program. These guys want to graduate, and I'm the one standing in between them, so I'm going to be real short, quite frankly. It is a pleasure to be here. You know, somebody's got to come from snow-ridden Indianapolis in the middle of December to South Florida, so why shouldn't it be me? So I pull rank and come down here. But I actually spent a lot of time on Longboat Key as a young kid, in Sarasota, to the tune so much that I always used to tell everybody that my dad was part of the Ringling Brothers Circus because he was a big circus file and spent a lot of time at the training camps. So it is a pleasure to be here. I just have started my 7th year with the Simon Youth Foundation. This year, students, you're joining a group of 17,000 other students from across the country that have graduated from the Simon Youth Academy. And we are proud to be just a very small part of that. Please take time today to mark this occasion the way that 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids do. Put it on Facebook, put it on the Twitter, put it on everything. Because one of my favorite things, because I'm old, right, I have a lot of history, I go back through this is the day. And I love seeing what happened, and I love seeing where I've been and what's happened. So do that, not so much for today, but when in a couple of years you have the opportunity to look back and see where you were. The speeches from the students tonight were amazing. Congratulations to all of you on what you've done. And if you would have thought 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever you came to the Academy, if this day would ever get here, did you ever think it really would? Well, it is, and congratulations to all of you. Those of you going on, don't forget scholarship applications are still open until February 15th. We love nothing more than help to support you onto the next phase of your life. To the faculty and staff, thank you for taking care of these students. To the parents, congratulations on getting these kids to the day. Thank you for letting us be part of this.
Thank you, Dr. Bernal. As you mentioned, he also comes to our May commencement, and we invite some scholarship winners. Hopefully some of you are the recipients. He brings those big checks that I always wanted, so I hope that you do fill those out. So finally, my advice to this graduating class, being that it's my 10th commencement ceremony and the limited intelligence I already have, coming up with advice for graduates is getting thin. I refuse to use the same commencement speech for both the fall and spring ceremonies. So tonight, my advice to you graduates revolves around making choices. I want to take this time to share with you my personal advice on what choices you may need to really focus on as you transition into the next stage of life. Approaching life choices with a strategy can help to a high quality of life. All choices, big or small, should always be thought out before making them. Our choices start from the moment we decide to wake up, get up, and go throughout our day. The events that happen to us each day can present challenges that force us to make difficult choices. Having the right strategies and mindset to make difficult choices can make all the difference in the consequences that will follow them. I chose to be a lifelong educator for one main reason: to help and support the development of young people so that they can live a happy and successful life. This is a passion of mine because I never had that adult in my childhood who guided me and helped me prepare for adulthood. I was humbled at a young age due to my life as a child in Indiana. I will spare you the details, but I was a product, like many of you, of a single-parent home. I lacked parental and family support that is needed for young people to make good choices. Almost everything I have learned in life has been by making mistakes and poor choices. So, what I want to share with you tonight are some life choices I encourage you to consider that I wish someone would have told me as I moved forward. And for the record, these aren't off Facebook, nor did I Google them. They are personal. Number one, it's never too early to start saving for retirement. Be sure to work towards saving and preparing for your retirement. By the time you retire, the only choices you want to make is what time to take a nap, where you're going to dinner for the early bird special, and if you're going to use a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. It may seem like you have plenty of time, but if you fail to plan, then plan to fail. Number two, know and build your credit score. Your credit score is what will define your buying power. Live within your means by knowing the difference between what you need and what you want. Try not to be an impulse buyer. If you can pay cash, do it. Number three, take a moment each morning before you start your day to pray or meditate. This quiet time is what you need to develop a healthy mindset. Allow this time to organize your day and prepare mentally for the choices you will need to make that day. Starting your day with a clear mind and conscience helps prepare for what you need to make those sound choices. Sounds cheesy, but try it. Number four, choose to have character. It's amazing how far saying please and thank you can take you. Respecting yourself will help you respect those around you, regardless if you like them or not. Having that personal integrity to do the right thing when no one is looking is a crucial characteristic. That will help you in becoming a contributing member of our society. No one can ever take away your character. Number 5, choose not to make excuses. You may not have the best upbringing, or childhood may have been a struggle, but don't use it as an excuse. Feeling sorry for yourself will just allow you to make more excuses. Like I've told many of you, I'm sorry for your circumstances, but I don't feel sorry for you. Don't feel the need to be enabled. Use your life experiences to grow and develop into a good person. It was best said by Benjamin Franklin, "He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." Number 6, control only what you can control. Focus on your choices and not someone else's. Do not waste your time and energy trying to change those things that are out of your control. I learned a while ago that grown folk are going to do what they want to do, and nothing I say will change that. Focusing on you and what you can control will eliminate drama and unneeded stress. Number 7, big one here. Choose to travel. Believe it or not, with good planning, it is not expensive to travel. Go see as much as you can in this world. Taking a small trip and seeing a different culture and a way of life is refreshing. Don't get me wrong, Port Charlotte is a sweet place. Said no one. But changing your latitude can change your attitude. Number 8, be a lifetime learner. Choose never to stop learning. This doesn't mean that you need to continue with school, even though I recommend it. What I mean is continue to learn new hobbies, trades, and activities that will help grow your brain and help you grow as an individual. He who thinks they know the most knows the least. And finally, take care of your mental health. Life, without question, has its ups and downs. Have the self-awareness when times are tough to take care of your mental health. Nothing wrong with taking a time out to readjust your mindset to get yourself into a better state of mind. Not doing this will lead you to make poor choices, and that will add to making more difficulties throughout your life. Besides the advice of saving for retirement, none of these choices I discussed have nothing to do with money or materialistic items. It is very easy to get caught up in the feeling the need to have the newest items and the best products. If you can be disciplined enough to live within your means and not have the desire to have unnecessary items that you think will bring you happiness, your life will be much simpler. And honestly, keeping your life simple is key. I wish you all the best as you move forward. Before Mr. Dionisio, if you could start joining me up on the stage, I want to thank Mr. Baker, our senior sponsor, for this great evening. Mr. Guzzo, our assistant principal. Our outstanding and flamboyant guidance counselor, Ms. Kristen Anderson. The Rocks, the selling coach who's hiding over there, and Miss Rash, someone out there, they are the face of the academy. Thank you, ladies. Our wonderful staff and teachers who are behind you, thank you guys so much. And can Mr. Bernicki stand, please? I want to thank Mr. Bernicki. Mr. Bernicki is in the National Guard, and for the 3rd time, he is taking a leave of absence for a year of tour duty in the Middle East and is leaving in January. I would like to thank you for your services and what you have done for those kids at the Academy. Mr. Bernicki, be safe. It's time. You guys might as well stand right back up. Superintendent Dionisio, as the principal of the Academy High School, I certify and present you the Academy Fall Class of 2017. The members of this class have met all requirements prescribed by the state of Florida and the Charlotte County School Board and are eligible to receive a high school diploma and all the rights and privileges pertaining to it. Sir?
Thank you. As Superintendent of Charlotte County Schools, I hereby accept the Academy High School Fall Class
2017 as fulfilling its requirements for graduation and grant high school diplomas to the members of this class. Congratulations. School board members, if you could join us, please. Graduates, please move your tassels to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please welcome and congratulate the 94 class of 2017. Will the graduates please come forward?
Leonie Charles Apasano. Corey Vaughn Alcorn. Victoria Lee Bailey. Eric Jonathan Barber. Megan Brittany Borison. Cynthia Marie Brown. Haley Nicole Chaperone. Edward John Siborowski. Michael Ryan Coffey. Andrew Gene Craig. Nicholas Tyler Crawford. Kiara McCarthy Cronin. Javian Andrew Davis. Stephanie Michaela Dermott. Alyssa Michelle FedEx. Anthony Fitzgerald. Christiana Caitlin Fuller. Yamilet Nicole Gandalf. Kaylee Renee Gibbons. Daniel David Geit. Gavin Mitchell Guelphy. Emily Ray Holbrook. Sarah Marie Humis. Alexander Thomas Keene. Derek Lee Kelly. Jonathan Edwin Curdy. Alexandra Marie Lagreca Morales. Jennifer Lopez Palacios. Aries Marie Lovely. Hayden Anthony Malagisi. Brianna Kristen Miaszewski. Kelly Ray Parrish. Conroy Nathaniel Powell. Cheyenne Marie Reamer. Sophia Patricia Riley. Hannah Dorothy Robinson. Jasmine Patricia Santana Lopez. Alexander Walker Sharp. Kaylin Elise Stiles. Kyla Marie Thomas. Cameron Nicholas Tinsley. Joshua Timon. Marilis Vega. Savannah Elaine Walker. Jordan Marie Wiley. And Brian Lee Zamora. And if the graduates would please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present for a final round of applause the Academy's graduating fall class of 2017. I'd like to take just a minute to thank a few people who helped make tonight's such a special evening. W. Lacasio, Sharda Ali, Jennifer Blanchett, Mr. Mike Bernicki once again for his third tour leaving next month. Let's give him a round of applause. If it wasn't for the tireless work of these people, tonight's event simply wouldn't happen for so many of our students. Their dedication efforts cannot be overstated. It's just that simple. It's time for our faculty and graduates to depart. Graduates first this time. We ask that you remain standing at your places until the last graduate has exited the auditorium. Thank you again for joining us on this very special occasion. Good night.
Yeah.